Now, it's no surprise that I enjoy researching ancestors in the cemetery. When I head out for a day of researching, I always take a few essentials with me. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I pack in my backpack when I take my research out of the office and into the family cemetery. Hey guys, if we haven't met, I'm Lisa, a genealogy researcher and author whose YouTube channel is dedicated to helping you find your ancestors, grow your family tree, and not be overwhelmed in the process. If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you're in the right place. Now, in a recent video, I happened to mention my backpack that I always take with me when I go out to the family cemetery or the local cemetery to do research and find my ancestors there. And I had a number of you actually ask me, what do I put in my backpack? So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you what is in my backpack when I go researching in the family cemetery. So why do I take a backpack anyway? Well, probably one of the first reasons I want to take a backpack is I want to have my hands free. I like to be hands-free when I'm researching, particularly when I'm walking and spending time outside. And of course, my backpack holds all those things that I need when I'm outside in the cemetery that, well, I just simply don't need to take to the archives. Now, let me show you my backpack. Here we go. So this is my backpack. There's nothing special about it. It is one, I think I got this one off of Amazon, and it is, as you can tell, bright pink because I want to be visible when I'm out there. And it is basically just a regular backpack that, say, a college or high school student would probably use for their studies. So there's nothing special as far as the backpack is concerned. The important thing is to have one that's comfortable for you. A couple essentials that I really want to have on my backpack, lots of pockets because I like to be able to get to things and I carry a lot of things sometimes. And also I want to have a place where I can have a water bottle. So I want it to have like a webbing, something that I can quickly grab my water bottle with. So that's there as well. All right, so I'm gonna dig in. I'm gonna unpack my backpack and show you what I have. So the first thing that I take with me is my research plan. Okay, now I might just print it out. I might actually have this one on my cell phone. So either way, I'm going to have a copy of my research plan with me. Now I like having kind of a paper version that I can carry because there's no, pulling it up on the phone or anything. It's just right there in my hand. Sometimes, I'll be honest, my research plan for a cemetery might be quite simple enough that I just literally write it on a piece of paper by hand. That's okay. I just need to make sure I know who I'm looking for, what I'm looking for when I'm in the cemetery. Now, I also, as you notice, will take a legal pad of paper because I want to write down information that I come across, questions that might pop into my mind. Now, again, I might use my cell phone to take some of those notes if needed, or I can even record a voice message to myself on my phone. But there is something about just going old school where I can grab my paper, grab my pens, write it down, and move on. Sometimes, honest, that low-tech way can be quicker. Now, next up, what I would take for my in my backpack actually would be my cell phone. Now I can't actually show you my cell phone because I'm actually recording the video on the cell phone, but I always have my cell phone, guys. One, it is my camera. It serves as my camera, so that's what I use to take all my photographs with. It serves certainly as a safety device because, I always make sure I can talk with people where I can contact people in the case of an emergency. I also use my cell phone to find a grave or a billion graves when I'm looking for a grave site, because I can document it with the GPS. Importantly, it's my cell phone's camera that is really so valuable to me. You can see the 6 types of photographs that I always take when I'm doing cemetery research in the video suggestion in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, let's see what else I've got in my backpack. Very important. Bug spray, guys. Okay, yes, bug spray is important. I tend to get eaten alive by mosquitoes sometimes. Next up, I kind of make my own little first aid kit, which has anti-itch cream in case those bugs keep biting, Band-Aids, Purell wipes, hand sanitizer, those kinds of things to have with me. Next up, water bottle. Okay, now I usually will have 2 water bottles, one for me and, well, one in case I need to wash any dirt or debris off of a tombstone that I see. Now, if you're enjoying learning what I put in my backpack for a day of cemetery research, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. That way you won't miss any of the videos that I post here on the Are You My Cousin YouTube channel. All right, let's get back to what's in my backpack. Here's a good one. I take an old towel with me. Now, this serves several purposes. So when I'm taking photographs of a gravestone, sometimes I like to get very, very close. And sometimes that means I will sit on the ground. I've been known, if it's a really small one, if it's really low, I've been known to just lay down on the ground to take that photograph. So I usually like to sit on a towel or lay on a towel, particularly if it's damp or muddy or dirty, that type of thing. So I like to take a towel with me. It's also good just to kneel on. So if I'm trying to kneel down. Next up, pens, pencil, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, the pad of paper, the wet wipes. So, you know, cemetery research can be kind of dirty, especially if you're getting down on the ground. So I always take the wet wipes with me as well so I can clean up afterwards. So sometimes I will take a pair of work gloves, gardening gloves, something like that, because I might need to, you know, push weeds or bushes away from a tombstone if I'm trying to get a good read on it. Sometimes the bushes can grow up quite a bit and you just need to kind of pull those out of the way. So I like to take gloves with me. What else have we got? My wallet, because, you know, my ID, I always have my ID in my wallet. Oh yes, very important. You know, cemetery research can be dirty work, but it can also make you hungry. So I like to take snacks with me just in case when I'm done. So there you have it, guys. It's not a ton of stuff that I take with me. It's fairly light, so it's not super heavy when I take this going. But it's those little extra things that make life a little easier when I'm out researching in the cemetery. And it allows me to stay out there longer, quite frankly. Now, I would love it if you would let me know in the comments, what's your must-have item that you take with you when you go research in the family cemetery? Do you have that one item that you just absolutely cannot leave home without? I'd love to hear about it. Just leave it in the comments below. Now, there's one other thing that I find essential when it comes to cemetery research, and that is not going to be in my backpack, but it's going to be on my feet, and that is my hiking shoes. Now, you want a good pair of sturdy shoes when you're out there in the family cemetery. Sometimes, as we know, oftentimes, depending on where we're at, we could be in the middle of the woods, we could be in a really nicely groomed, well-kept cemetery, but we need to have good walking shoes with good traction so that we are safe, because invariably we're gonna, if we do this long enough, we're gonna be in those cemeteries where the ground is uneven, this might be rocky, there might be a lot of sticks around if things are not kept well, as well as you know, bugs and ants and all that kind of thing. So I do that. Now, just so you know, I like these. These are these are Merrill hiking shoes, so that's what I wear. I will be happy to put a link down in the description below of my backpack and the shoes as well. But just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what it is that I like to wear. Now, if you want to learn more about researching your family in the family cemetery, watch this video on your screen, 7 steps to successful genealogy research in the cemetery, and to make sure you're not missing important clues out there in the family cemetery.